Why is this going to be my longest video yet? I bring to you all a game that I see in every single second-hand game store I've ever been in. Every single time I find a new game store, there's at least one copy of Haven Call of the King. Sometimes more than one, and today I found out why nobody wants this thing. I played it a grand total of once for a stream, and it's the most chaotic game I think I've ever played. I don't think I could be more confused by the first 10 minutes of any game, more than I'm confused by whatever the hell's going on with this one. Besides giving Jack and Daxter vibes, not in the positive way, stuff is just happening. There's an emperor of the galaxy whose servants share with him the name of a slave named Haven, who's been having dreams of a mysterious The Voice, which can somehow topple the entire empire. We then cut to Haven's perspective as he— oh god, what the fuck is that? We go outside with Haven and his new little robot bird thing named Talon. Haven's a miner for this particular village, and he's late for work yet again. Isn't that just the most relatable thing ever? In the mine, we meet Jess, I think? It's Chess? What the fuck kind of a name is Chess? I can't tell because there are no subtitles, and I'm deaf as shit, which normally wouldn't be a point of contention, but I promise it's relevant. Every character speaks at 50 miles per hour and is quieter than my butthole at church. She's being harassed by a guard who doesn't even bother with questions. He just starts shooting, which causes a collapse. This is the first bit of gameplay we have when we're already running at the camera. Bold choice, guys. Haven barely escapes the collapsing mine and wakes up being treated by a doctor in his own house. And I don't know how I should feel about this guy. Is he supposed to be Chinese? What are we doing here? He mumbles everything, and I have no idea what the fuck he actually says, besides a few things. Something about staying in bed, healing a head wound, and hitting a magic gong. It's been 10 minutes, and I'm incredibly uncomfortable.
I've been banging on this gong for hours.
Gong?
The ancient healing gong of Kabubi!
Normally, this would be the time for the game to allow us to get out into the world and explore what we can do and what we'll be interacting with. But the things we have as a part of our kit are just confusing. We have a shield, okay, that makes sense. But we also have a fushigi on a string? Some would just call that a yo-yo, but I'm pretty sure this is just a ball and a string. There are also these little egg things that seemingly don't do anything but make monkey noises whenever you pick them up. I thought there was some kind of currency, but they also respawn after about 2 seconds. It also seems no matter how many I pick up, I always seem to have around 50 of them, so they're disappearing and I have no idea why. There's also lots of pots lying around. Green pots are hint pots. They share all of the obvious information, but none of the relevant information. There are other pots that also do stuff. Some hold things, some explode. Most explode, actually. And none of them hold anything of real value. Eggs and hearts. You'd think those are valuable to some degree, but they aren't. Death means nothing in this world. The goal that the game gives us is to collect 3 cogs and make for the mine entrance. It's an easy enough task as the cogs are just lying out in the open. I'll just take the cogs in the machine and get on the elevator and get ready for my shift in the mine. What the fuck is going on? I thought we were just going to work, not performing the fucking gauntlet. How is anybody expected to work under these conditions? Somebody call OSHA at the very least to keep the equipment from blowing up. It's just ready, fucking go with no pomp or circumstance. I guess what we're actually doing is looking for Chess, but this is supposed to be a functioning mine. Why is everything exploding? I'm so overwhelmed and it's only been 20 minutes. 10 minutes later, and I'm fighting a Cat in the Hat boss. I'm not even kidding, I'm pretty sure Alec Baldwin is piloting this mech suit. Just because it doesn't have any candied stripes and isn't shooting purple goo doesn't mean that Alec Baldwin isn't in there. Open up, you freak! I'm sorry, that was uncalled for. Once the mech suit has been destroyed, we hop onto a train and start shooting at stuff on the train while the stuff is shooting back. I don't know why. I have no clue why we're doing any of this. Again, I think we're supposed to be looking for Chess, but the game doesn't even try to make that clear. Stuff is just happening, and I don't know how I'm supposed to organize them into cohesive thoughts because there's no fucking glue anywhere to be found. I've been here for 45 minutes and I still don't know what the plot's supposed to be because nobody said anything about anything other than, where's Chess? I gotta go find Chess. Chess can suck my fucking dense chode. Who the fuck came up with en passant as a thing you can do anyway? I fucking hate Chess. Once all the stuff on the train has been sufficiently shot, we end up at the end of the line, which happens to be a local village. Again, I have to ask, is this guy supposed to be Chinese? Seeing what looks to be a racist Chinese caricature not once but twice within the first hour is really frickin' weird. He's even got a bamboo hat. Maybe they're not trying to be racist. Maybe they just want to get across that this guy's supposed to be Chinese, but there are better ways to get that point across other than giving the guy a Fu Manchu, big teeth, and the fucking hat. This guy once helped putting out the fires in his village, fires that we caused because we shot the ship down that was shooting at us. To do this, we have to pilot a water-powered jetpack? This thing sucks to pilot, holy shit. Once all the fires are put out, the guy lends us a speedboat. There's no rhyme or reason as to why we're going to the places that we go. Haven just knows that where he's going is the place he needs to be, and the place he needs to be is the Overlord's castle. I just wish he told me. The Overlord is the guy that oversees this world's slave population. The Emperor, for whatever reason, doesn't want to kill Haven, even though he believes that Haven is the key to his own downfall. So instead of arresting Haven, they arrested Chess and took her to the Overlord's tower. A lot of the rooms and areas we find ourselves in have no consistent structure. Sometimes we have to collect some cogs to open a door. Those are pretty straightforward, and they're always really small areas. Other times we need energy to power certain devices that do random things for the purposes of going forward. There's no indication or consistency between what these special powers are going to be until you've activated the node with a full energy bar. One turns Haven invisible, another makes a zip line, another one puts Haven in a hamster ball. So far, 2 hours in, and there's no consistent gameplay loop. With any other game, there's something that's supposed to keep the player engaged. Usually a game mechanic, sometimes it's the story, maybe it's both. If it's the gameplay mechanic, this would be the gameplay loop. The activity that the game wants the player to perform repeatedly in order to create progress and maintain interest. In a game like Jak and Daxter or Banjo-Kazooie, the gameplay loop is collecting shit while running around and jumping and hitting things with your ass. The point is to make the number go up, with the mechanics provided. In games like Resident Evil, the gameplay loop is to enter rooms and decide what resource you're willing to expend in order to stay alive, ammo or health, or you believe that you can get away without using either. In Elder Scrolls, the gameplay loop is to enter dungeons, kill things for their loot, and then leave the dungeon and sell what you've pillaged from the undead. In Telltale's The Walking Dead, here's a different one, the object of engagement isn't the gameplay but the story. We're interested in what Lee's gonna do in order to protect Clementine, and to make it interesting, we're the ones who make those choices and live with our consequences. The only consistency that comes from Haven thus far has been the fact that I have no idea what the game is going to throw at me next. Some might consider that a good thing, but I don't. I've been introduced to one thing, and then we play with that one thing for 10 to 20 minutes, and then we never touch it again because they want us to use a new thing that they figured out how to do. The fight with the Overlord boss is no different. I mean, I can't say that it's unintuitive, because I figured out very quickly what I'm supposed to do in order to hit the guy. The blue swirly things are what maintain the shielding around the Overlord. Fushigi them to make the shield go away, and then hit the Overlord, and then keep doing that until he dies. Once the Overlord is dead, Haven and Chess leave, and the place explodes because Haven likes to pretend he knows what he's doing, even though he doesn't. The most masculine thing you can do as a man is to admit that you don't know what you're doing. And I never know what I'm doing. Chess informs us that the Emperor's police force, or whatever they're supposed to be, plan on arresting another slave that isn't Haven in order to figure out what Haven's dreams mean. They just call him Old Slave. If he's another Chinese character, I think I'm done. This game can't play like shit, have no story, and be racist. The segment that follows immediately after this boss fight is a racing segment. I suppose I was warned that there would be a lot of vehicles in this, since the back of the box boasts 16 awesome vehicles, but I wasn't quite ready for their definition of awesome. I'm not 100% sure what constitutes a vehicle, but I've been in a few so far. I'll define it as some other form of gameplay that isn't walking around, since I think that's the definition they're going for as well. I guess a jetpack is technically a vehicle, but it's not the most riveting gameplay since Jetpack Joyride was peak jetpack gameplay. Another vehicle was just a rail shooter of shooting random shit for no reason. But worst, so far at least, has been this car. It's an actual vehicle that I'm familiar with by the definition of vehicle. It controls like SHIT. Forward is very fast, which I guess isn't a problem in and of itself. It's the terrain we're driving on. The goal is to collect cogs from some tanks, but the only way to destroy the tanks is to collect these blue little wisp things that power up the car and run into the tanks. This terrain is so damn bumpy that it's impossible to drive in a straight fucking line. There are these trenches that I guess are supposed to make chasing the wisps easier, but half of them aren't even in the trenches. I spent more time trying to line up to collect cogs than actually driving, since going forward is freaking impossible, and reverse is slower than the immortal snail. By the way, you should check behind you. You never know. Beyond this segment is a village which houses the boat we need to get to the island of heroes where the old slave is. But to get there, we have to appease the captain of this boat.
Me name be Ahab a banana.
Okay, Ahab Banana Man. He'll take us to the island, but since nothing can ever be simple, we're about to be attacked by pirates for the next hour. When I say that, I'm not exaggerating. I was here for an hour at least. Several ships will approach the boat, and we have to shoot them with guns on the bow and the stern of the ship. This is very much a wait until the weak point is available type of sequence where we can't just shoot the attacking ships. No. That would be too easy. We can only attack parts of the ship that are actively shooting at us. In order to not get shot, we have to shoot the incoming projectiles. It's a very simple sequence that I've done time and time again in other games. The difference between those games and this is that in those games, such sequences last maybe 10 minutes at most. 10 minutes is about as long a segment should be before I just consider the game to be a turret shooter. I reiterate, I was here for a fucking hour. I was here for so long that I discovered what the little white eggs are for. If you don't have any, you die. Why? I don't fucking know, because nothing gets explained at any point. You just go pick up shit. That's why you play these games, isn't it? Just go pick up shit, watch the number go up. No need for explanations or anything like that, just pick shit up. This third section vastly overstayed its welcome. Specifically the galleon that has 500 guns on it. It's the boss of this section and took up most of my time. It has front cannons, side cannons, torpedo cannons, sea mine cannons, plane cannons, cannon cannons. If it's a type of cannon, this fucker's got it, only at Captain Ahab Banana Man's Cannon Emporium. Get yours today, starting at $5 billion fucking dollars. It doesn't help that the gun we've been using can overheat, which only extend the length of this section. I don't know who came up with the idea to make 16 vehicles, but all it tells me is that they had no idea what they wanted this game to be, and they said, fuck it, just make it everything. Upon arriving at the Island of Heroes, we arbitrarily now have to collect 4 rocks from the 4 other islands that exist around the main island. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that the goalpost just moved. The first clear instruction we get in the entire game, and now Jimmy Jazz Hands over here wants rocks. To be fair, it is called the Island of Heroes. I shouldn't be surprised that there would be a test of some kind in order to meet the old man. There's not a lot to say about them. One is in a temple, one is a combat arena, and the last 2 are vehicle sections. I'm tired of driving shit. The only one worth talking about to me is the temple. There's something actually resembling a game in here. Or at least resembles the type of game that Haven is trying to pull some inspiration from. Each of the rooms are either some kind of puzzle or challenge that fits the definition of a puzzle or a challenge. We have a room where we need to find the correct path in a sea of arrows, and if we try to jump by and skip any of the blocks, we get shot. Scarab beetles eventually start flooding the temple, and the only way we can get by is with a torch that we need to find deeper in the temple. When all is said and done and we have our little magical triangle thing from within the temple, we have to escape as the temple collapses around us. This temple is the only thing so far that resembles a game to me. The problem is that it takes 10 minutes to do when it should have been the whole fucking game. At least then it would be a mid-tier game instead of a collection of we figured out how to code vehicles the game. It might seem that I really like shitting on something that someone was passionate about, and I'm sure that this was someone's love child, but I don't. I like talking about old games and games in general, and part of talking about them is talking about the stinkers that exist. I see this game in every single secondhand CD store, sometimes multiple copies of it, and it made me so curious as to what exactly this thing is. There are very few games out there that have nothing to offer for someone, and this game is no exception. So far, there's been this one temple segment for me, but that's about as far as it goes. It's all downhill from here. The old slave, who they've stopped calling slave and are now just referring to as wise man, because I guess it's gotten awkward, but I won't let you forget that this man's name was just slave, finally shares the secrets of the orb. They're a cure to a virus that the Emperor, who I haven't named yet because I didn't know his name until this point, it's Vetch. They're a cure to a virus that Vetch set upon the world in order to control it. Would have been nice to know that from the very beginning, since it's a game mechanic. Imagine in Far Cry 2 if they don't tell you to seek out malaria pills and you just keep leaking piss from your eyeballs and dying. Oh, and I guess the dreams too. Is a golden bell that when rung will summon a legendary hero to kill Vetch or something. Not gonna lie, gang, my brain by this point was so thoroughly fried after playing for nearly 4 hours without a clear goal as to what exactly I was supposed to be doing, and the motivation to do it is practically non-existent. I don't mean just for me, I mean for Haven. Bro's dreaming of a bell, I dream of cheese. You're not fucking special, dude. Think of every game you've ever played. The goal forward was always present. The motivation to seek it was important. Jak and Daxter, the goal was to change Daxter back into human, so we seek out Gul Acheron, only for him to be a prick. In Ratchet and Clank, the goal is to save the galaxy, so we seek out Captain Quark, only for him to be a prick. Baldur's Gate 3, get the parasite out, kill mind flayers, and fuck literally everybody. Katamari, roll up a ball. It doesn't matter how simple it is, the point is that we have the means to reach those goals, and they're important to our character in some way, and by extension important to us. While discovering the meaning of Haven's dreams might seem important to Haven, the player isn't given a reason as to why they should care. Vetch's atrocities haven't been shared in any meaningful capacity to give the player a reason to care as to why he should be stopped. They just put him in a dark room and gave him a scary-sounding voice and expect us to care that he's the villain. He hasn't done anything, and they haven't hyped him up to be this all-powerful being that they want to imply. By introducing the virus to us now doesn't automatically mean that Vetch is a horrible person retroactively. He may be, but you haven't done anything to convey that information properly. You haven't built him up as this evil being. He's simply just an antagonist because you said so. After talking with the old slave, I'm really gonna harp on the fact that his name was Slave. We escape in some secret tunnel that the old slave has in his house, though we're not actively being chased by anybody. I think they just wanted to feel special. But now we get to fly a plane. I say it like it's a reward, and I'm sure that they felt like it was a reward to let us fly a plane, but it's not. I just want to stop and forget about this game ever existing, but I have 4 more pages to read. Every time I see a new vehicle, I feel nothing. It's just numbness all the way down until it's over. That's called disassociating. I shouldn't feel the need to disassociate while playing a video game. All we do is fly around and destroy blimps. Again, I don't know why, nobody said anything. It's not that I need somebody to tell me why I have to destroy a bunch of blimps or do anything in general. It's more that I don't feel the need to destroy a bunch of blimps. There's no indication that Vetch's hunters are after us. There's no indication that the blimps have to die for any reason. There's nothing. They could have done the laziest explanation possible and it would have been better than what we get here. They could have put a line of Haven or the old slave or somebody in general at all saying, Vetch's forces are instructed to shoot down every unrecognized aircraft or something like that. Suddenly, we have a reason to shoot down the blimps. It doesn't make the segment good, but it adds purpose to its existence outside of because I said so. That's the theme of this game. Whatever motivations exist are never shared with the player. To get the player invested, you have to give them a reason to want to do what you want them to do. I'm a very simple man. Number go up. Make the movement between number go up good, and I'm good. A story on top of that only sweetens the deal, but you gotta tell me that there's a story happening. I mean, I'm not blind. I can see that there's clearly a story, but they don't share any of the reasons as to why we do the things that we do. It seems like they're going for this aha realization style of storytelling, but there's no build up to the realization. So instead it comes across as a very exposition heavy style of storytelling. There's no realization when there's no establishment. We can't have a realization about Vetch's virus because we don't know that there's a virus to begin with until we reach the old slave. We can't have a realization about the voice because we don't even know what that is, and explaining that it's a bell to summon some legendary warrior king isn't a realization moment. It's just exposition, but they treat it as if it's this aha moment, where Haven finally discovers what his dreams mean. It has the potential to be that aha moment, but they need to give a little more. Make the voice seem like it's an actual voice or something telling Haven to go seek the bell, which would then get him curious enough to wonder what the bell is. As it stands, he's just dreaming of a bell, which could mean literally anything. I dream of black holes sometimes. That doesn't mean I need to seek one out, nor do I want to be spaghettified into a giant noodle man. After crash landing the plane onto a random volcano, we explore for a while, because what else is there to do? In some levels, we have to collect feathers to summon Talon to do things. Remember Talon? The robot bird thing? Yeah, me neither. In the beginning, they make him out to be like Haven's little sidekick, much like Clank, or Daxter, or Kazooie, or whoever your favorite little gremlin is. They make him seem like he's gonna be around all the time, only to have this feather mechanic be his only role. Bring Talon feathers and he'll do something for you. He could have made Haven's movement kit way better. Right now, the only way to move faster as Haven is to Fushigi. Talon could have had the ability to let Haven dash in several directions, including upward with one powerful wing gust. The same idea could be applied to attack power by having a gust of wind from Talon's wings push enemies away, or while mid-air use a gust of wind to propel Haven downward at a higher speed for some kind of butt slam ability. We can do that already with Haven's shield, but by adding Talon to the kit, we spice it up with the robot bird, which makes it cooler. The sharpened wings could give Haven a spin attack of some kind. He could shoot metallic feathers or something. There's the obvious glide mechanic because bird. Of all the things to not turn into a vehicle which is always on Haven's person, they really fucked up by not utilizing Haven for anything outside of this transactional relationship. After collecting all of the cogs in the volcano, we discover a map room which will lead us to the bell. The old slave said something about something being important in a nearby volcano, but I could hardly tell because he sounds like he's fast-forwarding through his own exposition.
The artifacts were all hidden in a maze in the depths of a huge volcano. Maybe there is something in there that will help you find the amount of size.
After finding the location of the bell on the map, Haven gets captured because the plot demands it. We're taken away to a prison in space somewhere where nothing relevant happens for about 3 hours. There's no plot significance to being captured here. We get arrested and then escape, and then the base explodes. Wait, that's not true. We have to pilot another vehicle. Aren't you excited? Another vehicle! There better be titties at the end of this, I swear to God. When we land by some frogmen who want us to help them with their problems, and we have to do it because they have a ship that will take us to the bell. They want us to help them hatch some eggs, because there are some bug monsters that eat eggs. I dare not say the name in fear of bringing out the 40k fans to the surface. Y'all stink. The entire section is just taking eggs from the desert to the hatching pools in an ornithopter, and then shooting down the bugs as they try to steal them both in the hatchery and on the train back to the frog village.
But wait! There's more!
It can't be that simple. A big hole opens in the ground where the bug creatures will begin to emerge from. They're really gonna do it any second now. They're gonna come out of that hole, and we gotta kill them. None of this has anything to do with anything. Going to prison, crash landing somewhere that I'm not even entirely sure is the same planet I was on earlier. Hatching eggs in an ornithopter, killing bugs for frog people have nothing to do with Haven's story. We're just here. And this is what we're doing now, because the game has to be a certain length, I guess. Once all the bugs are dead and we reach the nest, we have to kill the bug queen. Smack that ass, I guess. But when she dies, she doesn't actually, and we have to run from her in a tunnel. This is one of those segments that feels way worse than it actually looks, because the green slime balls she shoots will invert the controls which cause you to run into her and die. I don't know who the fuck decided that was a good idea, but then again, this whole game was a bad idea. But even when we finish all of that, even after doing everything the frogmen ask. We get the ship that they promised, and we're still not done killing bugs. I gotta go into the skies and shoot more bugs in the same way we shot the blimps. Why? I don't know. I don't understand. I can't understand. I don't think even Traveler's Tales understands. I did what you wanted. I did everything that you asked. Why the fuck are we still here killing bugs for frog people? This has nothing to do with anything. I'm just shooting and hoping to God that my shots hit something because everything moves so fucking fast and I don't know what I'm trying to hit. I'm so tired, guys. I just want to go home. This game is like a really bad D&D campaign. There's an incredible amount of railroading for a plot that none of the players seem to care about. The DM is the only one who's really invested in what's going on. Outside of the game, they're not the greatest person, but you know a few people a part of the campaign, and only really show up just for the excuse to hang out with them. And everybody has the exact same thought, except the DM who thinks that their players are just as invested in the story as they are. And so you keep playing along and doing whatever quests the DM hands you, and maybe you're a little on the dramatic side, so you call them out for whatever really shitty ideas that they have, which lead to some fun arguments between everybody, but you can tell that the players are also having a good time whenever you do, and the only person who's getting upset is the DM. So they start throwing more bullshit at you. For example, within the example, everything we just did is like the DM throwing more random bullshit. You found the map leading to the bell, but you got arrested. You blew up the space station. Did we learn anything from our time up there? No, but you crash-landed on the planet below where the locals want you to hatch some eggs and kill bugs in exchange for a ship. What the fuck? Why? Because I said so. I guess we really don't have a choice, so you spend the day picking up eggs and placing them in hatcheries. But by night, the bugs come, and you spend the night killing bugs. This continues for a few days until a mysterious hole opens up, and now you have to venture in and kill the bug queen. The frog locals say that you can have their ship when you do. You have work in the morning, but the DM is adamant that this chapter is almost done. Again, you really don't have much of a choice, so you get in the pit and kill the bugs. When you get the ship and take off, but oh no, the bugs can fly now and are trying to keep you from leaving the planet. We've already been here for days, completely unable to continue our quest. Why must you prolong this adventure further, Steven? Once all the bugs are dead, you break through the atmosphere and suddenly Vetch's ships are attacking! Steven, what the fuck are you doing? I have to go to bed. I told you I have work in the morning. But the ships! You have to deal with the ships! Not only the ships, but there are cruisers that are coming now. Steven, stop. I want to go to bed. You can't leave until the fight is over. You defeat all of the ships and the cruisers and are now approaching the island that contains the Bell of Awakening. Finally, thank you, Steven. But the island is guarded by several more ships and a containment field that needs the destruction of nearby generators to access. Steven, what the fuck is your problem?
Mr. Krabs, I wanna go to bed!
This whole time, I've been keeping track of how long this game has been going on and how long I have left. Because someone made a walkthrough with all of the chapters and missions listed out. I have 10 missions to go from here. You might be tired of how long this video's gone on. Trust me, I am too. It explains what the fuck I just did. I understand how you feel. But you don't understand how I feel. Listen here, come over here. I'm a petty little shit. If I had to suffer, then so do you. Sit down and like the video. Ring, 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 banana phone. We ring the bell and Chess calls. She's trapped somewhere and is dying because she has no more antidote. Gotta ride this fucking flag with the pole all the way down from the tower, but we can't land because there's a shield again. I thought we took that thing out, but there's another one. Glide through the hoops and turn off the shield and then land by the ship. It's easy enough. Except when I did that exact thing, you wanna know what happened?
Get up.
I'm gonna fucking cry. I wanted to be optimistic about this game. I wanted to find something that would be worth seeing, but there's nothing. It's shit. Haven is shit. I'm trapped. This is sunken cost fallacy happening at this point. I've invested so much time into this that I have to finish it now. It's not just the playing part. If I were just playing this out of simple curiosity, I would have stopped playing and moved on with my life. But I've thought critically about it. I've invested emotionally into this script, and I'm making a video. I've spoken words and brought life to my thoughts, and I've edited all of it into a somewhat digestible format for your enjoyment. This one video has taken months from my life. It doesn't take me months to make a video, maybe a week, at most. I sacrificed an evening of my birthday for this shit. I'm ready to be done now. I'm not fucking kidding when I say the last 3 hours of this game is nothing but fighting ships in space. I'm gonna speed through it because I'm done. We fly to where Chess is, save her, and then fly to a new place that has the antidote factory with a plan to redistribute it to the people. The only problem is Chess betrayed us.
I'm not just a pretty face, you know.
Bitch, you ain't even that, shut the fuck up. Vetch shows up to reveal Chess's betrayal. She's been leading you astray the entire time. No, she hasn't. She's been watching you for years. Again, no. You can't just make shit up and pretend it was all part of your master plan. That's not how it works. The Warrior King guy shows up. I didn't even commit his name to memory because I don't fucking care. Vetch takes him back to the bell tower, which was a place Vetch isn't even able to go, but whatever. We're just making shit up as we go now. Vetch has Haven and Chess imprisoned, but doesn't even bother to lock Haven's cell door. No, I'm not fucking with you, he just walks out and follows Vetch back to the bell tower. Vetch kills the warrior guy, and then he and Haven have a quick QTE that results in Haven being chained right up next to the warrior guy. And then the credits roll. Again, I'm not fucking with you. I may want this to be over, but I'm not just gonna make shit up. I'm not Haven Call of the King. I fully understand why Haven is in every single second-hand game store I've ever been in for less than $2. It's quite bad. I'm free from this fucking piece of shit, and I'm going to bury it in my yard. I hate to be this negative. I hate shitting on something that may have been someone's passion, but I don't see any redeeming qualities in Haven. They wanted a sequel, but nobody else did. Fuck you, Steven. Your campaign sucked. My name is Box. Please like and subscribe for my suffering. And please, for all that is good and pleasant in the world, have a wonderful day.